Okay, so today's video is taking out a hub, an old spigot from a cast iron hub. And the way you do it is you have to cut it flush, cut the pipe flush with the hub, and then drill out the lead and oakum all the way around.
So what you're doing is you're making a series of holes all the way around there with the theory of that loosens the spigot end of the pipe up enough to wiggle it out and pull it out, and then we clean the hub out, and then we're going to insert a rubber gasket, slip seal gasket, and this definitely beats the old method of using flame, a torch, to melt it out, right, Josh?
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, so what we do is now that you've got a series of holes drilled, you can go back around with a bigger bit and then rough it.
That's the key.
And it'll peel it out.
Using the bigger bit after you've drilled the smaller holes.
Shiny stuff you see is lead.
Yep, and then you connect the holes together by rocking the bit.
And you will break bits.
Yep.
I'll be shocked if this one, I'm shocked this one hasn't broken already.
Yep.
Okay, so about 5 minutes later, this one is actually pretty easy on us.
Didn't you say that had a shallow lead pour?
Had a shallow lead pour.
Yep.
In other words, there wasn't as much lead as what
should be 1 inch of lead and 1 inch of oakum.
Yeah.
But this
probably about a ½ inch of lead.
This was probably
maybe
done
about 3/4 of an inch of lead.
This was probably done by a helper.
Hey, this rag's got to go down further. Hang on. Before we do this.
Oh yeah.
Pull this out. I'm going to reset it.
Yep. Okay. So this was probably done by a helper, and he just didn't put enough.
Now we set the rag further beneath your hub.
But the oakum is what really seals the joint, and since this was a stack, there was no danger of that jumping out of there because the lead was thin.
Look at this. I haven't had one of these pull out like this in a long time.
Yeah, this is great. Easy for us. Hopefully it comes out.
Yeah, it will. Bigger pliers.
Yep.
Locks.
You got to be careful when you're doing this because you don't want to break the hub.
Like that.
Well, it's okay to break that, but you don't want to break the hub like that because then you're in bad shape. You'll have to we have enough room to saw the hub off, as you can see down here, maybe attached to the neck of that. That's a long sweep 90 going under the slab. And so that we may be able to cut that off and attach with a band, but we try not to. We want to be able to get that piece out. So we're real gentle with it. Probably helps to have a wet vac. We don't have a wet vac right now to vac all that stuff out.
The dark stuff you see is oakum.
Yeah. They normally aren't that loose. Now there is on the end of that pipe, that was a fitting, I think, and there might be a rib on the end of that pipe that's catching, and that's why it's not coming out. But they normally, you work on it enough, it'll come out. Do a little more drilling. We're trying to restore this joint for the people for this house, because we could have maybe just cut it and attached to the old cast iron, but we have to put a fitting in pretty low to catch a laundry down here. And we just really had to get that out. There's the lead.
On the bottom.
See the lead right there?
That's oakum.
He didn't pour very much lead.
No.
So maybe he didn't have enough. Maybe it was a helper. We don't know. Wow.
So
see that
hub.
See,
hub on
see,
the bottom.
yeah, that was, see the rib I was telling you about on that. That's what makes it stay in there. But sometimes they put just a straight piece of pipe in there and they come out easier.
Looks like
Now we're going to clean that out, and I'll show you what we're going to do next.
This is a 4-inch 90 that comes up, and as you can see, there's a little bit of debris from cutting the rest of the stack out. We just reach in,
Let's look down.
clean it out as best you can.
You can't.
That's
Really,
dust. That won't hurt
you can't really see
anything.
it. Right there's a good shot. Yeah, that's pretty
That's
clean.
Dust. It's just dusty.
A lot of times there's stuff in here, but this one's, we're pretty lucky on this.
So what goes in here is a donut. We call it a donut.
So we're going to put this in there. It reduces to
It's 4x3.
4x3, and then we're going to put a piece of 3-inch in there, and then we're going to put the fitting right on top of that. So that'll be next. We're going to get that prepared, then we'll show you that. All right, now we're back. We got the hub cleaned out, and as you can see, we have put regular either dish soap or hand soap, liquid soap, around the inside edge of this, just enough to get, oh, great shot. We get it in about a 1/2 inch. That's how you do it. You start that. This is a 4x3 hub gasket that they make to go inside, take the place of the leaded oakum when you take that out. Here, show as you can see, the band right there, it tells you everything, service weight, soil pipe. Here's the pipes you can punch into the top. And that's what we have. We have DWB plastic going in. So we want to convert this to 3-inch out of 4 immediately. That's how it's going to go. So what you do is you go ahead and you plug that in about a 1/2 inch, maybe a 1/4 inch after you get the soap in there. Insert it into the bushing, into the hub. And then he's going to push that down, and that should lock it in there. Now spin that towards the wall, and that's going to catch our laundry in the basement. Now we have, here's going to be our clean out, is we're going to put in this stack tee, and probably that way.
That way?
Probably that way, yeah, like that. That's how it's going to be.
There you have your new,
And then we're going
your new stack. Right?
And then, as you can see, I'll show you up. We're going to go right up to where the stack goes up there, and we'll continue that video later. So now you're gluing the stack in. As you can see, we've got the clean out stack tee in. We've got the 3x2 tee at the bottom looking over to catch our laundry. And
Letters.
he's got a letter right there. There we go. Yeah, we always like to keep the letters out. Look at that. And that's going to go up, and then we're going to start cutting our fittings in after that. That's how it's done. Okay, so this is after we get the hub drilled out and the rubber put in, the boot, gasket, whatever you want to call it. We've got the toilet right there. We've got the arm off for the tub that we're going to put in. Over here's the kitchen coming down from first floor. That's the vent that's going to eventually tie into the laundry down here. And it will tie into this fitting here at the bottom. Right there, we're going to run the laundry over that way. But not bad for a day's work. This is the plastic DWV completed, tied into the stack. We've got a laundry box, and you're now allowed to arm off the riser, at least in Ohio, for the laundry sink. We're going to catch the tub right there. Water line's coming up next.